All right, let's talk about a totally new kind of storytelling. Imagine a story where you're not just a fly on the wall, you're the main character, and your voice, that's what controls the entire adventure.
Think about it. We're all used to audiobooks, right? You press play, a story is read to you. It's great. But what if that story could actually react to you? What if it could hear your voice and then change its entire path based on what you just said?
And that, right there, is the core idea we're diving into today. This isn't just some little tweak to the audiobook format. No, this is a pretty fundamental shift in how we can interact with a narrative.
Okay, so a normal audiobook is like a train on a track. It's got one fixed path from the beginning to the end, and you're just along for the ride. This new format, though, is more like going off-roading. You're shifting from just passively listening to actively participating. Your voice literally becomes the steering wheel that shapes the entire journey. So what we're talking about here is called an interactive audiobook, and it's this awesome hybrid, right? You get that high-quality, professional narration you'd expect, but it's mixed with the freedom of a game. Your choices actually matter. You're the one in the driver's seat of the story.
And these aren't small decisions either. You're constantly being pulled in. Are you going to be a stealthy rogue or a bold leader? The story literally pauses and waits for your command. It feels like you're playing a solo role-playing game, but the whole thing happens through audio.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds kinda complex, but actually, the way you interact with it is designed to be super simple. Let's break down exactly how it works.
It really boils down to just these 4 steps. You hit play, you start listening. Then, when it's time for a big decision, the audio pauses, asks you what to do, and the mic on your phone or computer opens up for a few seconds. You just say your choice out loud, like, "I'll hide in the shadows," or "Let's try to negotiate," and bam, the story instantly adapts and keeps going down the path you just picked.
And the system is really flexible. Let's say you're on the bus and don't want to talk out loud. No problem. You can just use on-screen buttons instead. If you don't say anything, the mic just closes and waits for you to tap an option. And what if you say something a little unexpected? Well, the system is smart enough to figure out the closest choice and keep the story moving along smoothly. Best part? You don't need any special gear for this. No fancy headset, no extra microphone. It just works on the devices you already own. Your phone, your tablet, your computer. All you really need is an internet connection to stream the stories. So what kind of stories can you actually play? Well, let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the library of adventures that are available right now.
Right now, there are around 80 of these interactive stories, and they're available in both English and German. That's a really solid library to jump into, with everything from one-off adventures to longer episodic sagas.
Each story usually clocks in around 30 to 40 minutes. That makes them absolutely perfect for your commute, a lunch break, or maybe while you're cooking dinner. They're designed for these short, flexible sessions, but hey, nothing's stopping you from playing a few back-to-back for a longer escape.
And the variety here is just fantastic. Whether you're into epic fantasy, gritty crime thrillers, mind-bending sci-fi, or even historical adventures, there's something for you. Plus, there's a whole interactive series just for kids with 18 episodes, which is such a cool way to get younger listeners really engaged with the story.
And all of this leads to a really important idea at the heart of this whole experience: screen-free gaming.
It's exactly what it sounds like, an immersive, game-like experience that doesn't demand your eyes. With so much of our lives spent staring at screens, this gives you a chance to engage your imagination in a really active way, but entirely through sound and your own voice. Just think of all those moments when your hands and eyes are busy, but your mind is totally free. When you're driving, doing chores, out for a walk. It even works with hands-free systems in your car. This format just fits so perfectly into all those little pockets of our day where traditional gaming or reading just isn't an option.
All right, I bet at this point you're probably getting pretty curious to try this for yourself. So let's walk through exactly how you can jump into your very first adventure.
It is super straightforward. You just search for Twist Tales on the Apple App Store or Google Play, or you can just head over to their website. And here's the best part. All of the stories on the website can be played completely for free.
And to make it even easier, here are 3 awesome titles to start with. The Blade in the Shadows is great if you want some fantasy intrigue. Gangster Cats if you're in the mood for something really fun and quirky. Or Expedition End Zone for a classic sci-fi adventure. Just pick one that sounds cool and press play.
That really brings us to the big final thought here. For more than a century, audio storytelling has been a one-way street. But this technology completely changes that whole dynamic. It transforms passive listening into active participation. So the huge question this leaves us with is, now that our stories can be played, what does that mean for the entire future of listening?